Told you what's happening, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just sent the notification over there to Discord so we can begin. We can begin. And make sure those of you who are joining, make sure to like the video. And let's get it popping. Ty, what's going on, man? Just seeing you over there on Patreon. Discord, your blur, what's up? What's going on? Trader, what's going on? Go to Lookism reaction. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. How are you, my man? I'm good. I am good. I'm good, man. It was a great chapter today, and we're gonna dive into that. A lot of connections that were made. PTJ is on this run to connect all the dots. Hey everyone, excuse my weed rudeness, man. Welcome. I know you on that windbreaker. I know you on that windbreaker grind right now. And how would you rate this manhwa? Excuse my weed rudeness. Like as of now, like is it in your top three? Is it in your top five? Let me know. Let me know. What we thinking of, King? King of Busan. See, and that's the thing, is that's interesting. During that part of the chapter, when Gapryong was mentioning it, he said, I was already headed over to Busan, but to my surprise, when I heard that there was a kid with reverse eyes that was washed up on the shore, right? It's crazy that we still don't know this king of Busan or anything of that. That's interesting. Good air, my god. I appreciate you, Choji. Now, not gonna lie, looks like Gun is main character of Lookism. He's been the main character. But you know what? I know people gonna be tired of this too, because Gun has been like, y'all gotta think. People have been tired of Gun. Obviously, for me, that's not the case, because he been my favorite. Um, you got to think he came up with a majority of W's, and then it leads to a whole flashback about him. So it's been gun, 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 which I'm not mad at, because they're fleshing out his character. But also, that means to me that P2J is fleshing out his character. And like I told y'all this from the start, for those that have been following me for a long time, especially the reactions to Lookism, that Gun is not going to make it out this series alive. I do not believe that for one bit. I believe he's going to do something, because you're getting it from his perspective. He's telling this story to Daniel Park. This whole entire thing of why he is, or why he joined Charles, which we will get to into for this chapter. We've seen that confrontation, which is hilarious to me. And I think there's just a little bit of foreshadowing, man. I think that I could see Gunn really sacrificing himself for Daniel. Like, I don't know what it is. I just have this feeling in some way. Maybe it's not for him directly, but indirectly. Like, who knows? I see something like that, because it goes against this notion. This whole entire chapter, why he's following Charles, is because of is partially to do with his father. Because Charles, as you remember him as elite from the Gapryong Kim's fifth gang, which that in part had defeated his father Shingen. He knows that those who are within that gang are top tier, top at the level. And to see Charles Choi, what he is now, one arm, lost an amount of strength, and to see his wings clipped, if you will, Gunn is second guessing himself. Is like, hold on, you're like on a kind of on that level, not exactly, but level of my father, but yet are you going to do the same thing? He's just more curious about what he's going to do when he's at the top. What are you going to do? And that became curious to him, because he can't understand. Y'all got to understand. Gunn doesn't understand love one bit, period. He does not understand it at all. It has been abundantly clear. The only person to kind of show him the light, if you will, is Haruto. And Haruto was killed by Shintaro. We know this. His own father killed him. So the only light in his way that was the person that made Gunn admire life in such a way, right? And make him vulnerable and trying to make him feel certain emotions has been snuffed out. So the love aspect that Gunn had that he craved was not there. I mean, granted, his father sacrificed himself for him at the last bit. They never had a long relationship or a bond until what you would say that moment. Um, but it's crazy. Tech is about to scale elite to Shiggy just because of the iPad. I wish he would. I wish he would. I will come back in an hour's eight. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Windbreaker is probably tied for the for first place of favorite webtoon. My guy. Hey, I can't fault you. Windbreaker is goaded. And for those who don't, and that's the thing, because that was an issue for me. If you've never read Windbreaker, and excuse my weed rudeness, will probably agree with me on this too. I've never been like an advocate for like bikes and like street racing on bikes and bicycles and and all this other stuff. Like, especially as an adult for me, as opposed to I was riding it as a kid, but I never was like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta go read this type of scenario, whatever, especially if you're into action and all that stuff. But I can tell you right now, Windbreaker story is like and the artwork of it just is honestly and I'm here to tell y'all Windbreaker its artwork is better than Lookism. I'm tired and I love PTJ, but come on, I'm gonna just tell y'all up front, if y'all thought about giving Windbreaker a chance, do it. Excuse my weird rudeness. Will tell you right off the bat, give it a chance. Yes, the first season is slow. Once you get it to the end of that first season, too, man, it goes off without a bam, and you can't stop reading it. Hi Blur, what's up? Are you still going to be reacting to Mercenary Enrollment? Maybe on Patreon would be great. Khalil, yeah, I want to get back into that. It's been a while. I got so many chapters to catch up on, man. That's like a whole 2 or 3 hours of just straight reacting to. I'll probably end up losing my voice if I react to it now, but it has to be done, or maybe I'll break them up into pieces and drop them off, and not pretty much into one video because I know people don't want to sit there and let me read for an hour plus. 45 minutes is long the way it is, even though it kind of goes by fast. But I think 2 or 3 hours is just it's a little redundant. I mean, you can always come back to that video, but I think I should just break them off if I'm because I do want to continue mercenary enrollment. Sup, Roberto, welcome to the stream. Jen, welcome to the stream. Busan gonna cause some problems. I can see that too, for real. Busan's been kept like secret. Even if like Gapryong is talking about it. Like, what in the world? Say my light gun when he clapped Jake Kill because of his gambling things back then. But Mamad, man, welcome to the stream. I'm good, man. How about you? What you think? If not Tora Oni, then who would have named Gun Shiro on it? I'm still thinking. It's crazy because we're at this pivotal point right now. But I think it's Shintaro, man. I'm gonna go with Shintaro. I know y'all gonna look at me crazy. One, we don't know if Yamazaki is even still alive. I think the last thing we heard in real time, in present time, that they were in ruins. So to me, I think at one point Gum might even go back, might even challenge Shintaro. How would that be? Right? Might we don't know, but I think that's the only person I can see from a Yamazaki, right? From that clan that can give him his name. He's not gonna accept that name from anybody else. That's especially that's outside of the clan. I don't think that's it. I don't see that being it, and it would just be weird, and it would just feel weird. Like, why are you giving me my name? Even if it was somebody, I heard a lot of people saying a Gapryong Kim, but even that is weird. That's like I get it because Gapryong is Himothy too, and I get it. He's at the top of the echelon, like with this father Shingen and so forth. But it just wouldn't feel right because he's still not a part of that clan to be handing out names like that. PTJ has some serious problems with fathers. Real talk. Kikabusa might be crazy OP. I think he is secretly. I think whoever it is crazy. Is crazy. Hopefully, when this war is actually starting, especially with Kite and everybody, Kite Kim, you need to pop out. You need to pop out. The chapter proves Gun a bum and Goo the king. It's Andy. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you still trying to start something Gun off Shintaro and getting the Shiro Oni title? Why did you say this chapter proves Gun is a bum and Goo is the king? If I'm not mistaken correctly, Goo got some injuries to heal from his last fight. That man took a massive L. Yeah, I stopped really riding bikes when I was around 10 or so. But Windbreaker would have you think it's the roughest sport. Swear to God. Pete Breaker addict here is Andy. You already know. You already know. More Windbreaker on the way on the channel too. More nah, Blur. You gotta read Castle. It's PTJ's story, just not in the out verse Castle is so peak. I'm telling you. Is Castle peak? Gun off Shitaro. I think Gun get the show only title like a year or less than the correct timeline. Do you think his mom, Park Somi, would name him Shiro Oni? That's a good question too, because that's a good question. I could see, maybe I could see Somi doing that. I could. Is Gap sad about the death of Shingen? I don't think he's displaying it right now in this moment, but I think he is. I think he is. What happened to the guy that was trying to get Daniel to buy his shitty car? He's not in the story right now. PTJ verse is getting larger and more complex by the chapters. I'm gonna give you a new glasses. Look at Gun's hair compared to Goo. That proves my goat is goat. Hold up, hold up. You talking about goat? Goo got some drip, but he had to learn from Gun because look what is Goo rocking right now? Hold on, let me go look at this so I can laugh a little bit to myself because I like making fun of Goo at all times. Hold on, let me see here. Goo little nerdy ass need to sit down somewhere. Uh you res- love Castle Blood, trust me, you will love it. Castle. I've heard of it, and I knew that was in the PTJ verse, but I've never just given it a chance to read it. Okay, no trouble. PTJ should make Goo art. I think he will. I mean, if Gun is getting his flashback, I honestly think Gun will die soon. That's just my opinion, or it's just foreshadowing for me that he's gonna make some type of sacrifice. But Goo will get his background story. I mean, come on now. Now we got a little bit of information that he was the one that killed his master. Did we know that before? Did we know that before this chapter that it was him? Because he said stabbed his master, but I think internally I think he meant he killed his master. But when got out of prison, he's wearing his little Lil Daniel drip. That did the all black fit. I know what you're talking about with like the off gray kind of pants, like the off black pants. But the only difference is Daniel was rocking Vans with the turtleneck, the black turtleneck, and Gunn was rocking the black Air Force Ones. There's a whole totally completely different thing. My man was out of prison rocking black Air Force Ones. My man was bringing demon. He was on demon time, so to say, out of prison. Am I late again today, Kite? No, you're not. You're just on time. A gun got out of prison. Yep. And Goose should get a power up. Maybe he will, but maybe he'll get the Muramasa. Maybe he'll get the katana that's able to cut through black bone that Shintaro was using. If he had that blade, he definitely stay he would stand a better chance, a way better chance. They would be on par, so to speak, if he even just got the Muramasa blade that Shintaro was using, or a blade identical to it that could cut through black bone. Because that's the reason why he couldn't cut through gold. Remember? Where he was trying to cut his what was it? What was it? His Achilles or his ankles? Slice through his ankles, it wouldn't go through. I think a Castle is Killer Peter, but way better. No cat, way better. Castle is better than Killer Peter. Somebody confirm or deny this, because Killer Peter I ain't gonna let you say what you're gonna say, but Killer Peter is Killer Peter. Have you tried out Dead Mansion, the newest of the PTJ verse? No, I have not. I think Charles will also get a backstory. Charles will too, even though I really don't care for him, so to speak, in the way he feels. This man, think about it like that. This man was already going to off. He was going to off Crystal if he had to. Think about it again. He is so hell bent on going to the top, and that shows you something. He would have gotten rid of his own daughter to do that, to get Gun on his side. Read that again until Gun told him, that's all right, but if I don't like what you're doing right now, I'm going to kill you and your daughter. That's how you know Gun is just so strong as he just making idle threats towards him. Think about it like that. Y'all are crazy. I think that's the problem, but that's also the problem with PTJ when he had with a character like Gun, because everybody made these assumptions. Gun is this strong. Gun is at this level. 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 And every time, even when you go back in a flashback, he just proves you wrong, 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 wrong. That dude is up, up, up there. I don't know. I know it's got to be exhausting for PTJ to kind of keep that up and lie. Like since this dude was five. Oh my God. All right. Love how PTJ doing the previous Gen lore based on the Hobbit POV and Gun POV for Gen 1 and Gen 0. Yeah. I think at the end of Look is a Gun will rule the Yamazaki clan. I just don't see him surviving. I don't. Maybe he could. Maybe he could start up again, but I don't. I think he's done so many bad things as a character already that he is beyond unforgiven. Him being forgiven. I think Gun wants to seek the warrior's death. I think it's kind of, and because Daniel is the only character right now that is a light for him, right? He is everything. Think about it like this. Daniel is essentially Haruto. Read that again. Listen to me again. Daniel is essentially Haruto, as in he is this light for God. He is that person that values life. that hates evil things, that hates evil beings, that hates treachery, that hates betrayers, that hate murderers, that hate all that is negative, right? And that values life, it values family, it values friends, if you know, and all that comes with that, right? I think that's what it is. But I just can't see Gunn. I can't see Gunn going back and doing what he needs to do, and that's the reason why I feel like PGJ is really fleshing this out at the beginning of the war. But if Gunn was to sacrifice, it would have to be somebody of high caliber. I don't want to say Goo because I feel like that's just too predictable in that sense. I would love it if Kite was the one to kill him. As if he was to get into a fight with top tiers, it would have to be Kite, in my opinion, in my humblest opinion. He already beat all these second gens. Yeah, I said it, every single one of them. So it would have to be somebody of that caliber. And this is another thing that's kind of hilarious. Charles Choi, we know he's not dead. We know he's not dead. This man knows the secret of the two bodies. You don't think he made preparations or contingency plans just in case he had to get rid of his old body? Come on, y'all. We're smarter than this. This man smiled on the ground. Even Daniel caught that. Daniel feels weird about it. Lightning Choi even feels weird about it. We all know as the audience, Charles Choi is not completely dead. Like, come on now. It shouldn't even be a surprise to y'all. I think Gunn is going to be in for it. I think at the end of the day, if Charles Choi was to able to kill his daughter, he was going to kill his daughter for the sake of of him rising to the top. Kill Crystal, to rise to the top. You think he gonna care for Gunn at the end? Come on now, it's all business. It's all a part of his plan at the end of the day. Yeah. All right. Choi Young backstory sus. Oh, Choi Young backstory sus. Oh, who else thinks that? I've been caught up that fraud. Good dude landed 0 hits on Daniel. Laugh my ass. Our killer is Peter Peak, but I love it. Castro's on another level. Yo, what's up, Blair? Mandy? What's going on with you? How's Gite made it to Korea yet? Yes, he has. He has. Yep, he has literally met Jake. Yep, and he's met Jake too, which was an interesting confrontation, if you will. Who have the worst personality, Choyon or Charles? The two of them don't have a problem killing their family. That is a good question. I honestly want to say, dang, they're both evil in that regards, where they just don't care about if their family gets in the way, if even their own personal goals, they won't hesitate to kill those people. Like, think about it like this. I think it's either way it's messed up when you think, because Choyon is willing to get rid of his mother, or at least subdue her to the point that she's not in the way. Because I think the slime just holds on to it. I'm not sure if the slime literally kills that person. I'm not sure, but he was willing to use it, right? But I think it's something is different when a parent is willing to kill their children for the sake of their personal goal. It feels different. It hits a little different. And I think me being a parent of myself kind of feel that different. Like, don't get me wrong. Wrong is wrong. And Choi Young thinking about getting rid of his mother, his own parent, is just as bad. But you have to be a special type of evil to get rid of your child for the sake of your goal, when that child had nothing to do with it. That child is a good child. And that's just wild. It's crazy. So I might have to go with Charles Choi, honestly. Even though Choi Young wants to unite not just all of Gamba, but all of Seoul in general. But if you're asking me, I'm gonna say Charles Choi. We're really about to get the first Gun and Goo fight chapter. Yep. He said he wanted to test him, but who knows what that's gonna mean? It's gonna be great. How does this change the Fat Cypher is a bum? Choi Young does it for fun. Charles does it for his goals. I get it. Yeah, he did say it was for fun. So you can look at it that way. You can look at it that way, actually. Yeah. So in DT, he did bring up a good point. He does do it for fun. He actually mentioned that too in the latest chapter. He says because it's fun. So in that sense, you could give it to Cho Yun, because even if he probably was to have his own kids, not saying he would, but if it's not fun or anything like that, or he might find fun in killing other his kids or whatever. I don't know. By the way, you should read Theory on Questions and look as a Charles as a system user. I heard about that as Andy. I do not believe Charles is a system user. I get this whole notion because it's within the PTJ verse and people want to make those connections or whatnot and make that possible. That could very well be possible. But let's just start off with Charles Choi and the secret of the second body and all that. I think if that's where he should stay at. I don't think he should be aligned with the system yet, even though it's within the same verse. I think I personally don't think that's happening, and I personally don't think it should happen. Let's see here. I thought Gunn would be angry at Charles for saying that, right? Do you still think that James is Charles' second body? That is a good question, man. Who in here think that James is Charles Troy's second body still? And did y'all find it kind of funny when Eugene, the last time we saw James Lee, and with his black hair and all that stuff, he told Eugene he was gonna retire. It's interesting. Put the nines and put the two and two together. I get it. He could have said that because Charles Choi is done with. He doesn't have anything to worry about from that side of it. But let's I don't know. I'm gonna have to say yeah. I'm gonna have to say yeah. I'm going to have to say yeah for sure. Let's see here. Making Guff follow Charles because he was a good father. BBTA made it awkward. Made it awkward. What do you mean? What do you mean made it awkward? Castle fights are straight peak. The Nice fights are peak. Anybody else besides Ty telling me about Castle? I need to see multiple people telling me that Castle is peak. Charles' acting was very good. I think Charles chose gun on this side because he knows the power of Shingus, so he saw the potential of the gun. Yep, he might have wanted to use the gun as a wall. Absolutely, of course, we know why. They're both benefited from it too, though, and I think Gunn is not dumb enough to know that. But for his own personal reason, he wants to see where Charles Choi can go to. Somebody who used to be feared within the Gapryong Kim's fist game as elite. So he wants to see that somebody of high caliber. What would you do to step at nothing and think for yourself and get to your goals? What does that look like? And I think Gunn is questioning that because he knows his potential. Gunn knows his potential, right? He knows he can be a top tier. He already knew this already. I think the point for him is to see, hey, what happens to a person when they do that because he never saw that. Remember, he's clashing with his morals. Well, not his morals. He's just conflicted because the whole point of him following Charles and the reason for it is because he's seen what his father had done at his last final second. Somebody that's high tier like him, right? He doesn't know what love is. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't even understand having emotions because that's how he was brought up. So you have to understand he needs answers. He needs to, that's why he's doing this partially too. Don't get me wrong. Remember, he also said, hey, if I don't like what I'm seeing from you, Charles Troy, he said, I will kill you and I will kill your daughter, as in Crystal, if I don't like what I'm seeing. And this dude was Crystal's bodyguard. Think about that for a second, just playing along. But it's quite interesting. Very, very, very interesting, man. Charles doesn't find killing his daughter fun. She just got in the way of his goals. Correct. What versus fights are you excited about in the future of Lookism? Mine is GTA versus Gun if happens. Mine too, Trader. I know people want that run back with Gu and Gun, and I think that will come back. Or it's either between that, or it's either between Gun and James Lee, if that ever happens. I believe James Lee is Charles' second body that gained consciousness. I could see that. Two body seekers should tie requestism at least. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna tie into questism. Y'all have to understand something. They're just in the same verse. I just like it would be cool to see that as a system user in the Lookism verse, see that in that art style, but I just rather have the second body and all that kind of just stay within there and kind of see that phenomena as opposed to a system user. That is just me. And there's nothing wrong with the system. I'm cool with it, but I think we got enough of that with questism between Kim Soo Yeon and Choi Yeon, and we know what that's about. Let's see. We literally saw them talking to each other. The thing is, seems that Choi Yeon easily gave up after he lost. I think he could be swayed to change, but Charles is pure evil. Just look at the smile. Gentoki, I don't know, man. I don't know. Blood Gun in prison, James doesn't need to duck smoke anymore. Yeah, that's true. In the reused panels, DT. Elite loses his left arm to Shingen, no cap. What if it's Shintaro? What if it's Shintaro? What if it's Shintaro that cut off his arm? In my opinion, James did not look good in black hair. No, he doesn't. Gentoki, he gave up because he couldn't do anything else. Troyan is so sick that when he isn't fucking up people, he would rather die. Yeah, he would rather die because it's not fun. Life isn't fun to him. That's the thing. Nothing. He is like that person that nothing intrigues him. He is. a top-notch student easily. He like nothing in life satisfied him. Not women, like whatever. That dude was just abnormal. So I agree with DT. A lot of people probably don't read Castle because it's heavy underrated. Okay. Jonathan, welcome to the stream. Make sure to like this guy so we can get this out there. I think the system is more of its own thing and not used by a lot of people in questions. It can still fit and look as if without someone else being a system user or cloud or our cloud people. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I'm only one that think that Charles' face in this chapter is similar to Eugene's. Absolutely. Charles is dead. James is cleared of all charges now, and it's only Eugene's who has his weakness in James' hands. Mitesh, I agree with that, but I personally don't think that Charles Choi is dead. Somebody who knows the secrets of the tube body and knows the phenomena that has made preparations. Knowing that he was getting older because he wants to rise to the top, and not only rise to the top at his old age, he wants to sustain that and stay at the top for as long as he possibly can. If this man can find out and unlock the let me how I say this, if he can unlock immortality just to stay at the top, he would absolutely do that without question. So it's come on now. We got to read between the lines. We know Charles Choi is not really dead. We know that. I'm calling that right now. If y'all don't want to believe that, I don't know what to tell y'all. This dude was smiling on the ground, and Daniel caught wind of that as his body hit the pavement. After his body hit the pavement, remember from the jumping off from the school. Charles did not lose his arm against Shingen because it is sliced with katana. Exactly. And that's why I would like the idea that his arm was sliced from Shintaro. I actually kind of would like that more. I think that would be badass and cool. To somebody who can actually challenge him too still in relatively in that level. And don't not say somebody like Goo cut off his arm. That would be stupid as hell. I think it would have to be somebody like Shintaro. That would kind of make more sense. Somebody who can really push him in the fight, right? Of that level. Thought of the King of Busan in this connection to Gapryong. I don't know what to think. I think that PGJ is clearly hiding him for a reason. He wasn't even at the meeting, with Sonji's was the anniversary of Sonji's death. He wasn't at that. He was like one of the kings. Besides, there was another one I believe that was not at the funeral or at the grieving spot or at the meeting, if you will, right? In honor of Sonji's death. So just pay attention to that. Something's really strange about that. Or maybe when Gapryong died, maybe he stopped caring about going outside and doing all that other stuff. Who knows? I mean, who knows what's going on? Maybe he has something on Charles Choi. Maybe he's afraid of Charles Choi. I have no idea. But it wouldn't make sense because Charles Choi is dead in the future now. But yeah, or accordingly, right now, allegedly he's dead. So right now we might get another gun sibling says Somi is with Shintaro. Also, there is still another Shingen son that we didn't see. Yeah, but I think he's probably most likely dead, to be honest with you. Um this gun is definitely the true heir with the reverse eyes. Not saying that this kid cannot have it. As we seen with Shintaro during his birth, he didn't have the reverse eyes, but he learned it along the way as he's gotten older. But I don't know. Some people think it's Somi, some people think it's Shintaro. I would like it personally if Shintaro was the one that gave him that name. Especially because he's the person that honors the Yamazaki, the rules, and all that stuff. So I think if Gunn was to go back and face off against him and actually ends up beating him or killing him in his last moment, I think it should be Shintaro that gives him that name. I think that would be really, really cool. I think that would be really, really dope. Let me see this. So right, yeah, for me, I see them saving Choyun and he becomes good, but Elite would not. Yeah, King of Busan is going to train Jake. I'm calling it King of Busan. PTJ is like JJ Amos and mysteries without a natural explanation in mind. Is Charles creating crews or is this geniuses or both? Charles is creating crews. This man says the era of the crews to gun. Excluding two body secret, we need to know how Daniel is getting UI. He's not even Yamazaki. Pirate family got no UI in their blood. The expedition, I think, will definitely have it. Shitaro above to do all that. Shitaro above. I think Daniel's mom was a baddie in Zero Gen. If then it would be so cool. I like Shitaro. Shitaro cold. King of Busan is gonna be hella OP. Trust another shit gets left eye. So Shitaro killed that dude. Smoked his pack. I'm a bit confused that the Pandas were gonna ask Elite to kill his daughter and At least he's like, yeah, sure. Was he really going to do it just like that? That whole scene felt like Rush Riot Dayad. No, he was legitly is the scene. It's not a rush scene. The scene is telling you that for what we've all known about Charles Choi as a character, elite. He is one of the grimiest, the worst character, and actually, and just in PTJ verse, and you can go with Choi Yun too because of how he's done things, right? But it's not, I don't think that's not rush writing. It's telling you then and there, he will kill his own daughter for the sake of his personal goal. If he has to. If he has to. That's not rushed writing. It's just telling you, hey, I told PTJ's reiterating this. You see what he's done so far. Let me reiterate how evil this dude is again and let you all, let you, as in the readers, as in us, let you know that this dude is willing to kill his own daughter for the sake of his goals too. Not just those that are acquaintances and such and old friends, but his own daughter too. So if he's willing to kill his own daughter, he's killing, he'll kill anybody. Clearly, he'll kill anybody. My question is with Charles Choi, I think when we get to his backstory, I think there we are going to see a different side of him that we have not seen when he's with his wife. Because remember, when his wife passed away or his wife died, however that happened, he changed and he also lost everything. Remember that now. He changed. So he was madly in love with his wife. Something happened. Maybe it was some type of sickness. You know what's so crazy about that? Hey guys, I got a theory. I got a prediction. Because I'm assuming this is literally going towards the end of the Gapryong Fist game era, where they're all still together but gonna break away or disband. What if Charles Choi wife at that time was ill from something, right? I'm not sure if they really explained it, how she died. I know she passed away. What if this is the only person that Charles Choi cared about, like really cared about? What if she passed? She got something. She was diagnosed with something. Charles Choi has done everything that he possibly could, all uses all the resources. Jin Young gets involved. Remember this, follow me now. Remember, besides Charles Choi, Jin Young also knows about the two bodies. He is a medical genius. You said don't even think Charles actually cared. I think he did. That's the only person that we kind of heard that his wife passed away that he actually cared about her. I think as far as things like that, I think he probably could have snapped more. I think he was already not a good person, but I don't think he was a good person like a truly good person. But he still did whatever he did for the sake of his goals or is willing to do. But I also think, what if he experimented with the second body, the idea of it due to his wife being sick or passing away, because there has to be a reason for it. You could just say, well, maybe because he wants to be immortal. Maybe that's what it is. He wants to stay at the top. He wants to be at the top. He wants to stay there forever, as long as he possibly can, and switch off her body. Um, that's you see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going with this? There has to be, I don't know. I don't know, man. What do you think about the people who underestimate Gite who place them below Goo? I laugh at them. Y'all need to stop playing with Gite, man. He will treat your favorite. Y'all need to stop playing. Y'all thought that this gun, how gun ran through the second generation was BS, and then especially with his fight with UI Daniel. Wait till Gite stands up. Wait till Gite get into this war and have your favorite looking like a damn bum. I'm gonna laugh hysterically. I can see a bunch of people being so upset. I can already see it now. But nah, y'all need to stop playing with them. I'm telling y'all gonna look stupid. Gun is as strong as 3AJ, scales in Big 2024. Whole time Gun dead ass just treats this as a casual training while Jake is actively trying to make the blood reach the wall more. Dang, DT, you love this man love clowning Jake. Gap is like me, would not raise own child. Oh wow. Also, that implies that people in Juvie are just as strong. We shall thank Gun for saving the best girl. Nah, baby Crystal. How the fuck this one-hand elite along with James Fleet killed Gapryong Abako? Oh, we'll get more than that. There's a multiple people that jumped him. I don't think it was just elite. I think it might have been elite, Kite, um, James Lee, and it could have been two other people. I'm sorry. They got this man in a spot where he probably couldn't do anything. Don't even think Charles actually cared. Yep. Either way, kind of crazy. Charles doesn't see any hope in his plans unless Gunn helps him. No hope whatsoever. I feel like Crystal's second body could be his wife. That's true, bro. You don't think Charles do all this because of someone else? Impossible. Charles is trying to be Orochimaru. Dude said Orochimaru. Give me your body, Sasuke. Old head ass. That's why I said Jay's is Charles' second body that get consciousness. Jay's consciousness of the good side of Charles and vice versa. Who has Goo above Gite? A lot of people do actually. It actually isn't Tekka. Didn't Tekka have Goo above Gite? Someone confirm or deny that. After Charles said that Daniel was chosen by second body, so it wasn't meant for Daniel. So what if Charles wanted to give his wife second body, but the second body was given to Crystal instead? That would make sense. Gite is dying if he ran that gauntlet. If he ran that gauntlet, you're crazy, DT. DT, I'm all up for trolling my guy, but let us remember, Kite is definitely Himothy. You're crazy to think that. I know you don't like this Gapryong bloodline, except for Gapryong. You might not even like him yourself, but to say that is blasphemous. Don't treat your favorite person like that, man. Yeah, no, man. Even your dad doesn't see anything in you. I wonder if they throw a curveball to make Gunn fall in love with Crystal or something. Uh, but I'm as patient as you for Gite, the king of all, to kill almost all of Lucas fans' favorite characters, so they finally understand who they're dealing with. Laugh with you. Seriously, y'all gotta understand this man do not care. Yes, Tekken said Gite is below Goo. Of course he did. Of course he did. No, dude, no one cares about Tekka's opinion. Soji greater than Mugen. Ooh, he did. Gite would have alive half the second gen. Oh, it is not. Does Jigya Park also have UI? No, he does not. Gite him. You know, Gite sucks. Gite goes kill Samuel and Goob will go berserk. When you actually look at the statements, Gite is narratively stronger than both Gun and Goo combined. Yo, yeah, Infinite Copy Yoha said the strongest of verse, which is crazy, right? I think Gunn was just giving Johan his compliment, but he said, "Hey, you come up against me again, I will kill you." And he chatted shit. The issue with how Gunn versus Goo and you idea is that those were supposed to be relatively equal while he was totally healthy, but he beat them while very injured. Exactly. And ironically, Gite's narrative is people stay sleeping on Gap, that man out of shape, and it took Jays and Gite to kill him. Absolutely. And I say this time and time again, no matter how you look at it, they still had to band up and form a plan to get rid of an out of prime, out of shape Gapryong Kim. Read that again. Read that again. They had to formulate a plan and band together because we all know they did to kill an out of prime, out of shape Gabrielle Kim. That is insane. It's insane. It's insane. That is insane to me. That isn't in Webtoons. They say, I didn't choose you to be the second body. He says, you were chosen. Yep. In Webtoons. Fat got greater than three threshold J's. Motherfuckers not ready for that Cavo. Hey, dude, if you got a band together to get rid of Gabrielle Kim and out of prime, out of shape Gabrielle Kim, I would not be surprised. This dude got all the thresholds unlocked, and that's in my humblest opinion. I can almost guarantee it without 100% that Gabrielle has all of the prime that Gabrielle too has all of the thresholds unlocked to the maximum. Seriously, especially if you beat somebody like Shingen. Granted, we don't know if Shingen utilized his went into his uncontrolled UI state. We don't know that. We don't know that. I know people are gonna say it. Remember, Gabrion mentioned it, so maybe he did. We don't know. We don't know. How to fight character Lookism soon. Habin and Tehun. I can't wait. Need to see my boys at least crew head level. I agree with that. How strong you think Prime Lightning Choi was? He's definitely hella underrated. We're going to see how cold Lightning Choi is. We're going to see that within his fellow student, his fellow disciple. We're going to see that within Lyman. And I can't wait for it. He is the strongest for a reason. Did you read latest LC chapter? Yes, that is on Patreon. For real, same with Lyman. You know what they say, fairly old in a business where men die young. Do you think Gap student would be involved in Gap death? I don't know. Other than Gap scaling wise, even Gun and Goo respected more Jake than Gite, bro. Gite Lift him like a baby. Worst humiliation for a K-pop. He looked at him like a baby, bro. It's like, oh, I'm proud of you, brother. You hate dad too, right? Right answer. Because if you didn't answer me right, I was going to kill both of you. And Senu too, who was there staring. Because we know Senu wouldn't avoid a fight, especially if Jake was getting into it. He would have killed both of them. He would have killed both of them. No, but can we talk about gun stealing Lil Daniel's whole flaw? Same poses, same clothes, shake my head. There's minor Kyrie. Welcome to the stream. Make sure to give this a thumbs up, but there's minor differences. So I know what you're talking about because Daniel was wearing all black. It was like the off black pants. They both had the same all black pants. I know Gunn had the black hoodie. Daniel had a black turtleneck, long sleeve turtleneck, but Daniel had Van shoes on, black Van shoes on. Gunn had black Air Force One shoes on, meaning he's on demon time. If you don't know nothing about wearing black Air Force Ones, what are you doing? That means he's on demon time, even out of prison. We know Gat doesn't have all thresholds. LOL. Little Gun. Gun literally calls Jake a dog that doesn't bite. Samuel's the ungoated character. Imagine exactly unlocked IE, bro. Oof. Good. Jake is good, but we forgot that he's the one who made Jiho evil. Damn. Hey, Jake made a lot of mistakes too. I think PTJ doing a lot of brutal scenes in the flashback to prepare for what Gite is going to do. Yeah, I think Gite will slaughter all the street without problems. He does not care. Y'all crazy. For those who hate DT, for those who hate Gite, think that he's a fraud, y'all better get ready. You honestly think that's true. I'll give you that. He was wearing them black Air Forces, bossing adults with negative. Yup. I know Daniel was wearing some black Vans. It was like black with a little bit of white Vans. Let's see. All right, man. All right. After trading with Lightning Choi, not gonna lie, y'all gonna have to invest in linemen, bro. Because dude, I'm already investing in linemen. That's the secret person right there. He was with the Mexican cartel. Those guys are not, and that's all I'm telling you. DT, if you're still in here, stop playing. You thought Yamazakis were crazy too? The cartel crew is just as crazy. Ooh, yep. You see disturbing videos from them? Yeah, they'll kill family members. They'll kill whoever. Y'all better get ready for it. I feel like Sitter needs to die by Gite's hands to build up tension and fear of the story. I will agree with you on that, especially someone who is relatively close to Jake as a brother, as a big brother. Jake needs that push in the story because right now he can't even face his. He would get demolished. He would get one shot. I'm sorry, Jake Fez. I have to say this: if him and Kite were to fight right now, he would get one shot. So how do you boost up Jay's character along with these other characters? You had to give him a motive. You had to give him motivation. How do you get a motivation? He has to either hurt the crew that he's in, severely damage a lot of people that's within the crew that holds a lot of meaning to him, which can be Sendu, which can be Lyman, which can be Jerry. You have to push his character to reach further, right? To reach further beyond this just cat blur. DT. Hey, everybody in here, y'all remember this day. DT think that Gite ain't nothing. Remember that. Y'all in here. He thinks that he's a fraud. He thinks that he thinks a lot of things. Y'all remember DT said this. All y'all. He said he's just above goo. That's it. All y'all remember this. I like what PTJ did with Jake and Gite. He gave Jake the innate talent of Gapryong and smoothness of his fight style and his good side, while Gite had strong body Gapryong and his ruthless style. Not gonna lie, I can't wait to see more Jerry and Warren. I know they aren't much of a focus. Jerry hesitates so he can go up. And Eli will probably have his own arc, so I don't know what. Someone has to get body. He will do. Why you make good? Hold on. You remember Gite literally has base gap narrative. Let DT think that and find out about Gite. I can't take him seriously. You need to take Gite seriously, my guy. I don't know what it is. I just think you just don't like Gapryong's kids at all. You don't like any of them. But y'all don't. I get it with Jake. But Gite, that's a different story. Sidhu dies, and it won't be just Jake Samuel, who also loves Gap. Will betray Gite because he loves Gap, and he also spends time with Sidhu in the beginning of Big Deal. Samuel and Jake will be up. Trust. Gunn will not die, not least him getting rematch with Goo and him getting hit that fight with James. I said by the end of the story, he will be most likely. Gite also copy moves, but the like wild and temporary. Crazy to think that Jerry never trained his body. He only learned bossy, still keep with current characters. That's true. You got to give Jerry credit, even though he pisses me off, especially as the second hit for Big Deal, just for fun. Absolutely agree with that. Jerry pissed me off a lot. I don't know if y'all can tell. He pissed me off a lot. But all right, guys. We know Jerry trays. Yeah, we know that. Yep. All right, guys. Um, Kite is going to go off. Johan and Yusan just to spit their toxic fans. Kite mimic moves without talent. Yep. I think Kite and Jace together to fight a villains. But hey guys, I gotta wrap this up. It's been almost 50 minutes. I gotta wrap this up. I got things to do. Your boy gotta get ready for work soon too. Still working. And I gotta get to it. But I wanted to come up here and talk about this chapter. I actually enjoyed this chapter. We got a lot of stuff, especially with Gun's character that's coming together and has made us realize why he is the way he is. And it is completely understandable. Absolutely understandable. The way he is. So now I'm just excited because God is telling his story to his student. He's telling the story to Daniel. So my question is, when all this is said and done, we get back into real time. How will Daniel take all this stuff about his master? How will he react? Will he feel sympathy towards him and be like, okay, I see why you did what you did, even though it was evil and malicious, but you never experienced true love. You never got to experience your emotions. And I think Daniel would definitely be understanding of his mentor and the reason why, one, if he got with Charles Choi, even though Charles Choi was a devious person to begin with. Um, I think Daniel would definitely understand his mentor more. But in doing so, I think this would be for Gunn's character because he never told anybody this type of story. He never told him his whole story to anybody else. That's what we can assume. Maybe Goo, but I doubt that. I doubt that. I think this will a burden would be lifted off, or I think Gunn should be able to feel good as a character to even tell somebody like Daniel that, right? Uh have him still condemn Gunn. I don't think he'll condemn him. I think he'll pity him. I don't think he'll condemn him. I think this is a person that is still his mentor, that is still his master, that is still has taught him. They spent a month together. That is still that made sushi from him, prepares fed this. So they have a relationship, a real life bond. So it's gonna be interesting to quite see. I can't wait for it. But let me know what you guys think. But thank you guys for joining this stream. Y'all already know more for next time. I can't wait for next week's chapter. But yeah, man, I'll see you guys next time. Blair out.